But first, let's make sure we get our head around commands in Xamarin Forms. Now, before we learn about commands, let us try to understand what is the problem we are currently facing. Typically, when we have a view with a control such as a button, when the user taps that button, code will execute in the code behind through an event handler. But remember what we said earlier, we don't want code in the code behind anymore. Most, if not all code, will have moved to the view model. This means that we need a way to trigger the execution of code in the view model instead, when a UI event is triggered. How can we do this? Well, the answer is using a command. Commands are the implementation of the command pattern, a software pattern that says that we write the logic to handle the event in one place, in our case in the view model, and then we can call it from different locations. Commanding is natively supported in Xamarin Forms and makes it possible to invoke code in the view model from the XAML code. The native support for commanding is available through the iCommand interface and the command type in Xamarin Forms. We'll see this in action in the upcoming demo. So what we'll do is we'll create one or more commands on the view model, and through data binding, we can specify in the view which command needs to be invoked in the view model. I understand that this sounds a bit confusing. Commanding isn't always the easiest thing to understand in the beginning. Don't worry, you'll see it in action in the demo very soon. As mentioned, the support for commanding is built into Xamarin Forms natively. Things work because of the iCommand interface available in Xamarin Forms. You see it here. The most important element in this interface is the execute action, which will in the command implementation contain the code that will be invoked when the command is triggered. This will therefore contain the code you want to run on the view model when the event is triggered in the view.